60% of my clients have had somebody come in to make the decisions for them. And this is a very big myth, that you can clear your clutter for good if you have somebody who is making the decisions for you. Let me ask you a question. If I were to make the decisions for you, would you be comfortable if I came in and put everything in a skip? You've probably considered the skip approach to doing your decluttering. It may be that friends and family have said that they will pay for a skip to just get it done once and for all. But you and I both know that that is not going to make a difference. After all, what to me may be a worthless piece of paper may be to you a last letter from a loved one. How am I to know? I don't know your entire history. Many a time I've helped somebody clear their clutter in their home, and they found a little bit of plastic. And if I were clearing their clutter for them, I would have thrown that piece of plastic away. However, if they've got children, they happen to know that that belongs to Johnny's little game, and it's a particular piece of it, and therefore it needs to go in little Johnny's toy box. I wouldn't know that that piece of plastic that looks like a piece of waste plastic to me is actually a crucial part to little Johnny's game. So actually, you can learn how to make the decisions yourself. We're not giving ourselves choices of keep, chuck, charity. That is not enough. There is a basic principle when it comes to making decisions. Our brain works best with 7 choices at any one time. More than 7 and our brain goes into overwhelm. Less than 3 and our brain goes into panic mode. So, if you are clearing your clutter, trying to clear your clutter using the keep, chuck, charity, guess what? That's 3 options. Our brain goes into panic mode. And you put it all in keep because it might come in useful. Guess what? That doesn't work, does it? You've probably tried that. However, if you are a piler and you sort your clutter into lots of piles, and you find yourself surrounded by a sea of piles in a room, and then you have to pile the piles on top of the piles in order to make it look a little bit better when you've run out of time or you've run out of energy. If you sort your clutter into piles of types of clutter, then I'm fairly sure you'll have had more than 7 piles by the time that you've done some decluttering. And guess what? More than 7 choices, and our brain goes into overwhelm and can't make a decision. So we pick up another thing in our clutter. It doesn't fit in one of the piles that we've already created, so we start another pile. Sound familiar? I did that. I did the keep, chuck, charity approach. I did the piles approach. I also did the weeding approach, which is weeding out what we know can go from the clutter. Well, that's only one choice because we are only taking out the things that we know can go. So again, we're in that panic end of the spectrum. So if these sound familiar, we actually need to limit our choices to 7, and you need to be able to choose those choices. We call them categories in the clutter clearing process, and actually it needs to be a decision made by you as to what those 7 categories are. So if somebody's coming in and making the decisions for you, either deciding what you should be putting your clutter into in terms of categories, or deciding whether or not you should keep something, so they're going to make it worse for you because you are not in control. You need to be in the driving seat. That's why when I work with people, I always consider myself the driving instructor. I don't need to be driving the car for you to be able to drive the car. However, you need me to be there just in case to guide you through what to do and make sure that you don't crash. So that's what I do when I work with people with their clutter. So please, please, please do not surrender all of your control and your power to somebody else who says that they can make the decisions for them, because just check with them how they are going to make the decisions on your belongings, given that they do not know you, they do not know your history, and they do not know how you want your life to be in the future. I hope that helps.